It's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on live hiphopdaily.tv. While I'm waiting for my guest to come through, my man, attorney Christian Wildsmith, as you know, he's running for Fulton County District Attorney. So he actually be running against Fannie Willis in the primaries coming up. He's on his way. But before we get into him, I'm going to talk about my trip to Boston. So we're going to break this down into two parts tonight. I'm going to break down first my trip to Boston that we just had when I was up there for my first time being at NECANN. So NECANN is a major cannabis conference that happens all across the East Coast. And one of the places, the place they started out at was in Boston. For those who know, I'm actually from Boston, so it was dope this time to be able to go back home and be able to fully experience everything that I've seen Boston transform into over the last couple of years when it comes to this new cannabis economy, which was fucking amazing, bro. Like when I'm walking through, I never thought about it because, I've been back home like multiple times, but I never had a chance to go down. I never went to no dispensaries. I never did nothing like that, right? This past trip though, I took two full days and just kind of was a cannabis tourist, and bro, I had the time of my life, and it was also eye-opening to see a real cannabis economy at work. You know what I'm saying? And when I say cannabis economy at work, I'm talking about functional dispensaries, and ancillary businesses that support support those joints. You talk about media. You talk about a whole lot of things where people are pouring money into this and people are getting paid out of it. It was really dope. Matter of fact, shout out to a couple of my folks, man. They was trying to talk me into staying up in Boston because they was like, yo, you can make mad money with Cash Color Cannabis doing that up here in Boston. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, bro, it's wild legal. Like when I say we went to this place in Cambridge called Diaspora. Diaspora is a black-owned private smokes place. Like it's membership only. You gotta sign up before you can even walk in there. You talk about having elite level pop-ups. Like that shit was so dope to be down there, and it was just a dope vibe to be around. And I really appreciate NECANN for blessing me and letting me have my first media pass to come up there and come check that out. So one of the things that popped out to me again, like aside from the fact that I was around that kind of economy, was the people who were part of it. First off, shout out to my man Tito Jackson. For those who don't know, Tito Jackson is the man behind Apex Noir. Apex Noir should be launching soon, but it's a massive cannabis dispensary. It's going to be multiple things. It's multiple levels. He's the face of that. He's been raising money for that for the last year or two. He also ran for mayor of Boston. So, shout out to Tito. I ran into Tito on some humble shit, man. Like we down around Fenway Park. And that's another thing to see, too. The city I grew up in turn into something totally different and still be the city I grew up in. Because I'm down here by Fenway Park, right? So I've been down there plenty of times, especially when I was in college, because there's plenty of clubs we used to go to down there by Fenway. So I'm down there by Fenway, and they have two weed events happening at the same time. Both weed events, open consumption, people outside smoking like it's nothing. And all that was going on. So while I was outside, I took a beat to walk outside and just kind of catch my breath for a second. I walk outside and I bump into my man Tito Jackson. Tito's standing outside with an Apex Noir jersey on. I'm like, yo, I introduced myself because that's my first time actually meeting him. When we chopped up, we've been following each other on LinkedIn. We've been following each other on social media for a while. So it's good to try to really catch up with him. And he was like, yo, Mac, we about to go drive out to Cambridge. We got a party bus. You want to get on? So I'm like, what I look like turning down a good time? You know what I'm saying? So I jump on the party bus. On this party bus with me is my girl Drudy, and shout out to Drudy and Leslie with Zeb Boutique. Zeb Boutique is going to be a cannabis dispensary that's going to operate in our old neighborhood, in the old neighborhood of Mattapan. They're going to be opening up soon. I'm up there with Drudy. I'm up in there with the folks from over there at Coffee and Cannabis, a dope podcast that takes off from New Jersey. Also, they're in the position of opening a dispensary as well out in New Jersey. My man Arthur Smith was out there. It was just dope. It was dope to really see a bunch of family, and we all on this bus, and we chiefing big, and we riding through the city heading to Cambridge. And I'm like, yo, shit that I would have never ever envisioned as a youngin' growing up in this city, being able to do in a legal fashion. Where when I talk about, even before we got on this bus, when I talk about the spots we was at in Back Bay Fins, that I knew if we would have did any of this before, how quick the police would have been on our head. And I'm talking about people's outside smoking weed like they had cigarettes. Same thing. I told my mom this. I was like, yo, mom's wild to me. I'm down here at the convention center. And at the convention center, if you know anything about Boston, at the Heinz Convention Center is right next door to the Prudential, which is this next level kind of mall experience. You know what I'm saying? Like you talk about Saks Fifth, you talking about all them stores are right there in Prudential. Standing outside Heinz Convention Center is a good 50, 60 people having a full open session. So people are walking by Saks Fifth bags, Golden Goose bags, you know what I'm saying, walking by after spending big bags, having to clutch their nose and wipe smoke out their face while people are literally smoking with no issue whatsoever. Like, I was loving that whole moment, especially from the perspective of where I came from. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty dope. And it was really dope seeing so many black people who are involved on so many different levels, whether it's launching their own dispensary, whether, like I say, it's the media. Shout out to my man Ian with Loud TV. Shout out to Albie, who's doing both. You know what I'm saying? I ran into Al. You know, shout out to Al with Firebrand Cannabis. Firebrand Cannabis, it should be opening up soon. I didn't get a chance to stop by the store. But he also is the same. He also still runs the media. He has the What You Smoking On show, and I had a chance to be part of What You Smoking On while I was out there. Shout out to all that, man. Like, it was a full ass homecoming. Like, when I say my first night there, and we did that trip all the way down to Cambridge, I remember standing outside Harvard Square, right? And I was high as a kite, like literally high as a kite. I was so high. I remember going into CVS. You know, so I found out too. It's hard as fuck to buy tobacco products anywhere around South End, Cambridge, like hard pressed. Like CVS don't do it, Walgreens don't do it, none of the grocery stores don't do it. They don't sell them at all. So I'm walking into CVS. I needed a toothbrush and some toothpaste. You know, hotels nowadays don't give you them kind of basic shits either, and I forgot about it. So I go up there and buy it. And the second thing I forget is Boston don't give you bags no more. We're a recyclable city. So she hands it to me. I'm looking like, can I get a bag? And I thought, bruh, I didn't forgot they charge you for bags. So now I'm high as a kite standing outside of Harvard Square holding toothpaste and a toothbrush in my hand waiting for Uber. And I'm like, yo, why does this remind me of me being back in college? Back when me and my homies used to make this ride all the time. I got Albie texting me talking about where y'all at? We about to pull up. I'm like, this is all college vibes, man. The only thing that's missing is me going back to my mom's house high as a kite and eating up whatever she made and acting like I ain't high and sneaking into my room. That was the only real difference, man. And I can say that now because I actually told my mom that joke too, and she could laugh at this moment knowing that I don't live in her house. that this is now funny and it's not a problematic situation for her. But one of the highlights I had that night, well, not that night, excuse me. One of the highlights I had that weekend of NECAN was cocktails and conversations. Shout out to Drudy and Leslie again with Zeb Boutique. And I don't want to mispronounce the name, but they had another sponsor who was their title sponsor. A great group of people, matter of fact. I had a chance to meet them. They actually won a couple of trophies at NECAN this past weekend. But shout out again to Drudy and Leslie. They had this amazing event called Cocktails and Conversations at the Rose Boutique, which is in Copley Square. And again, this is where young me was loving all this, because I know the areas that we're doing this in. And we talking about areas where not only would they not necessarily want our presence at all, but they definitely want your presence talking about weed. And here you are accepting both, begrudgingly probably, but accepting both happening. So we have Rose Boutique, this really nice restaurant, having these cocktails and conversations, excuse me. That's how they coined it, conversations. Yeah. Yeah, I was part of, as a matter of fact, I had a chance to moderate their inaugural session. And I wasn't supposed to. I was actually in my bed Sunday morning. Like, I was in the hotel room, sleep, lights out, curtains pulled to the side. Like, it was pitch dark. And I'm having to roll over, and I see I got a text message at 7 o'clock. I'm like, who texted me at 7 o'clock? And it was Drudy. And Drew had texted me and asked me if I wouldn't mind coming on and being a guest for their conversation. And I was like, yeah, that's no problem. I don't mind being a guest. And, of course, right after you send that text message, you get another text message saying, hey, scratch that. Would you mind leading the conversation with me and Leslie for the session? And that's where I was like, all right, well, now I need questions. I need a whole lot more preparation because I could just roll in and do an interview, but on myself, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm doing something with somebody else, I need a little bit more preparation. So I had a chance to speak with Leslie like an hour late, like not even an hour late, like maybe 20 minutes later. I had to apologize to her because I had my sleep voice on. Like, I had to tell her on the phone, like, I'm just waking up. So everything you tell me, I'm trying to take notes right now. I'll be ready. but just give me the gist of it and I'll be ready and I get down there. And we did. I got my notes together. We got down there and we just got busy, and it was a dope event. The brunch was amazing. And that's what I was kind of worried about because, you know, you get spoiled by Atlanta brunch. Like as much as you don't, you might not like people dancing on the tables. You might not like the hookahs and all that, but the food gonna be pretty decent. And that's something I never was. I ain't never gonna say Boston when it comes to soul food. We the king. So I was like, what's this brunch gonna be like? And the brunch was actually good, and I actually needed it because the medicine I gotta take now and the plane I was on, I needed actually some actual factual food, and that brunch held it down. Plus, it was a good chance for me to kind of network and meet some more people. Shout out to my man Amari. I met him. He has a dispensary open up in Hyde Park. And my life, y'all, when I say my heart was full knowing that, yeah, this is a city, the city I came from right now has a situation where people are able to actually benefit from this plant, not only from the medicinal purposes, not only from just being able to recreational smoke without a problem, but to be able to financially benefit. Like that was the crown jewel of my whole entire weekend, was knowing that that's a possibility. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take for Georgia to happen. I don't even know if I'll be here by the time Georgia happens. You know what I mean? But I do know this. I sat in Boston and I saw what it could be and I saw what it looks like. And if we could ever get to that point, then, man, it's over. If we could ever get to that point, man. So thank you, everybody who hosted me this weekend. Shout out to my man Black with Mellow Cannabis. Diaspora, if I ever get a chance, I'm not even going to say if. When I get the chance to bring Cash Color Cannabis to Boston for a live show, I definitely want to do it at Diaspora in Cambridge. That was an amazing spot. It was a duck off. It was real. Like, the vibe was so smooth. Like, it would have been perfect for what we do down here with the show. So I fully appreciate everybody who embraced me back into the city and kind of just walked me around also as a tourist, but somebody who knows this city like the back of my hand. Like, I still was able to jump on the train and the bus to go where I needed to go. Like, this is still my city. But also just seeing the changes and seeing some of the benefits of those changes happen for people who look like me. Top tier, man. Top tier. Shout out to Albie and what you smoking and what you smoking on. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to come see Firebrand. I really wanted to too. You know what I mean? Like he had called me Sunday morning and said, "Hey, how long are you gonna be in the city? I want you to come see the thing." And I'm like, I gotta be out of here by 5 o'clock. I definitely gotta jump on this plane, so I'm not gonna make it. But we gonna plan another round. Herb, you wanna come with me to Boston? Boo, bro. But I'm with you. It would have to be the summer. But Boston in the summer is hot. Boston in the summer is hot. Like New York in the summer is hot. Like, be prepared. Like, come with the shorts, though. Be prepared. But yeah, I do want to go, man. I was thinking, matter of fact, shout out to Omari with Best Dirty Lemonade. You know, Omari actually has products in stores up in Boston right now. Bro, that's, matter of fact, when somebody asked me, I actually got asked that question, what's your favorite Massachusetts cannabis brand right now? I told him Best Dirty Lemonade. I was like, Best Dirty Lemonade, bro. I seen this man grow this from small beginnings and coming to my studio and just telling me what he had, to the point where he has new packaging, new backing, and you have your brand in actual factual stores for purchase in the city of Boston. Like, that's how the shit. But O had this joke, man. We was at a Diaspora. He goes, "You know who we need right now?" And I said, "Who?" "We need Joe. Like, why don't we got nobody take no pictures?" And I said, "Because Joe can't keep a flight. Joe's not good with time. We got to still work on Joe's timing. If we can get Joe's timing together, we could easily get him in another city. Maybe we should get Liv. Liv, you want to fly one day?"
I'm down.
Okay. Yo, like she's sitting in the corner like, why you keep talking about Joe?
I'm just waiting for you to invite me. That's not good.
Yo, we got to. Yo, it would have been a blast, because that's the one thing we was missing, like our own camera person, our own videographer team. Because when I saw some of the recaps that people did, it was dope. I was definitely featured, but I'm like, man, he right. Oh, right. We need the squad. Like, how are we out here? Matter of fact, O was the first person who told me you can't bring the show to Boston. I was like, yo, I might move up here. He goes, bro, you have a shirt on that says Atlantavis. Like, Cash Color Cannabis was started in Atlanta. You can't move it. I'm like, but I can. I'm from here. Like, I can easily do it. I could do both. Like, be honest with you, I could host a show here and host a show there. I'm a man of many hats. I'm a man of many hats, man. So that was it, man. My trip to Boston was amazing, man. Like I say, shout out to everybody who opened their arms and opened their there's places for me to be able to come in and check it out. Yeah, I had a great time. Like, I really can't knock that in any way, shape, or form. It was really one of my favorite experiences that I've had in cannabis since I've been in cannabis. Now, you know, I've been to plenty of conferences, and I never had a chance and an experience such as this. So, Nican, 10 out of 10, top tier. I had a great time. I actually didn't smoke that much weed, which is crazy. Nah, the only time I smoked was on the
I'm shocked you ain't bring no fucking goodies back.
Yo, shout to Smoke Battle. Smoke Battle was up there. Smoke Battle was up there. I need to ask Mon if he brought something back. Because, you know, Mon probably brought something. I'm pretty sure O brought something back. I ain't trying to put y'all out there, but I'm pretty sure y'all probably brought something back. Nah, I didn't. I only smoked one time while I was up there, to be honest with you. Matter of fact, I was very proud of myself. Because you couldn't find any tobacco until you went around the way, I didn't smoke no blacks. I didn't smoke a black until I got to my mom's house. And I was telling my mom how I haven't smoked in about 48 hours. And then I'm sitting in her crib for about an hour and a half and we talk. And I say, hey, I'm about to run to the store. She goes, I thought you stopped smoking. But I'm like, this is the only place. Like, apparently, you could even tell as you're driving through the city, the minute you start getting towards Roxbury, you start seeing corner stores that literally advertise, we got cigarettes. So that tells you something right there. You know what I'm saying? That tells you something right there. As you move through the city, our community is like, yo, we got it. So, but yeah, shout out to Boston, man. I love you. I love my city. It's always going to be my city. And I can't wait to go back up there for another event or another time that maybe we bring Cash Color Cannabis up there. So stay tuned. I'm going to go check on my man Christian and see how far he is. And we're going to get ready for his episode so we can talk about him and his run against Fannie Willis. And that's going to definitely be a conversation. So stay tuned. Cash Color Cannabis, a high-level conversation on livehhiphopdaily.tv. He's downstairs.